We shall press play in 3. I understand if I put it on in the chat and you're on your laptop and then you want the playlist on your phone, that might be a bit tricky. So if you need to do copy and pasting, but yeah, the first bit is just super chill anyway. So I'm going to press play in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so as always, we're just going to start in a really nice, comfortable seated position. So I'm not sure whether any of you are new today or whether you've been coming for these last few weeks, but always recommend having something handy like a brick that can sort of double up as a yoga brick. So could be a really nice, thick, hardback book. Cushions as well can also be useful. They're not so good for your hands if we need to extend our limbs, but they're great for sitting on. So basically, we don't want to be sat down with our knees up here. We want to try and soften these down as much as possible. So sometimes you might need to sit on a couple of books, and you want to feel that at least the knees are in line with your hips. If not, lower is even better. And that really allows your lower back to lengthen. So if you ever get sort of lower back pain and it feels a little bit compressed in there, we want to feel that lengthening. So we're not kind of rounding, hunching, or sort of buckling into a tight position. We want to feel that space in our spines, so we can breathe and so we can stretch and twist to our greatest ability. So let's just close our eyes and settle ourselves here. Find that comfortable seat. It might not be cross-legged. You might want to sort of have your knees on the ground. This might be a more comfortable position. Whatever works for you, for your body. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Sigh it out the mouth. 2 more like that. Breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. Once more, in and out. And then just breathe in through the nose and close the lips as you breathe out through the nose. So we take the first few minutes of the practice just to arrive in our space, especially on a day like today where it's super, super hot. You might already be coming to the mat feeling that heat in your body. So we don't need to, straight away kind of start to build that heat. So let's just become accustomed to our surroundings, to our setting, to the temperature of the room, to the way in which we're breathing today, that quality of breath. So breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, exhale. And the more we can steady that breath, the easier we'll find it to move through the postures. So really let the breath be your guide. Let that be an indicator of where you're at. If you've lost the breath, it's a really kind of important thing to sort of make you think, why is the breath gone? Have I gone too far into the pose? Have I been distracted by something that's going on around me? Can I bring it back to that breath? And then if it feels right, bring the palms to press together at your heart space. Your eyes are closed. This mudra is called Anjali mudra, and it's just to signify the balance between both sides of the body, the left and the right, the feminine, the masculine, which we all have within us. Some of us, don't often find balance between the two. And through the yoga practice, through various meditations, you start to find that equilibrium. So take a moment now to set yourself an intention for today's practice. And that could very simply be to stay with your breath, to focus on that quality of breath. Or perhaps it's something else you're working on, or maybe a dedication. Think of someone you love, offer up your practice to them, or to that person or that thing. And just take a moment. If you find that you get to a point in your practice where you're challenged, come back first to the breath, come back to this intention. Releasing your hands down by your sides, blinking your eyes open. From here, just sweep your arms up to the sky as you inhale. Interlace your fingers, and as you exhale, push your palms to the ceiling and drop your chin towards your chest. Pull your lower belly in, soften your shoulders. So this awareness of the lower belly is called Uddiyana Bandha, and it means upward flying lock. And it keeps our energy lifted rather than just kind of dropping the belly out and letting the spine round. We keep that stability. Take one more inhale. Then as you release the hands, take the right fingertips behind you and the left hand outside of that right thigh as you begin to twist. Draw the lower belly in, take an inhale, looking over that right shoulder as you exhale. Then reach the arms back to the sky. Inhale. Right hand outside of left thigh, left fingertips behind. Exhale, looking over that left shoulder. Pull your lower belly in, support the spine. Inhale, find that length. Exhale, find a twist. Once more. Inhale. Exhale. Then inhale, reach the arms into the sky. Then this time, interlace the fingers. And as you exhale, gaze goes up slightly as you push your palms towards the sky. Soften the shoulders still, just opening the chest a little bit more. If it doesn't feel nice in your neck, just keep your gaze just towards the horizon. Take one more breath. Inhale. Then exhale, release. Now come forward onto your knees. Move any blocks out of the way. And find your way into a tabletop position. So bringing your knees below your hips and your hands beneath your shoulders. And just take a few rounds of cat-cow. So for the inhale, you drop the belly, arch the back, and you look forward, finding a little back bend. For the exhale, you bring your chin to your chest, you dome your shoulders, hugging your belly button to your spine. You inhale, this is your cow pose, drawing the shoulders back, looking forward. You exhale, this is your cat pose. You know, that angry cat shape where it really gets up into its front legs. Drop the belly, inhale for your cow. Exhale for your cat. Once more, inhale. And exhale. Really nice. Now from there, reach your right arm into the sky as you inhale. And then thread your right arm underneath your chest and come onto your right shoulder and your right cheek or your right ear. Then from there, back of the hand is on the ground. You reach the left arm into the sky as you inhale. Take it behind your back, so you're moving into a little bit of a twist here. Maybe you can hook the fingers to the inside of that right hip crease. See if you can start to turn your gaze towards the sky as you open that left shoulder even more. Hugging the belly in, we're finding space through the thoracic spine, the upper spine, where the vertebrae are a lot more compact. Take one more breath, inhale. Exhale, release the left hand back to the mat or the ground. Press into the left hand, sweep that right arm back into the sky. Inhale, tabletop, exhale. Now lift the left arm to the sky, inhale. Thread it underneath, come onto the left shoulder. Keep lifting those sit bones. Then reach the right arm into the sky, inhale. Take it behind your back. Maybe the hip crease or the thigh on the left. And then really press into the back of that left hand. Turn your chest as much as you can to the sky as you really open through that right shoulder. Feeling the belly drawing in to make space for that twist. Last breath, inhale. Exhale, release the right hand back to the mat. Press into the right hand, sweep that left arm back up. Inhale. Tabletop, exhale. Now tuck your toes, lift your knees about 1 millimeter off the ground. Hover there. This should feel quite strong in your core. Now really dome your shoulders like you're doing your cat here. Spread your fingers wide. Make sure your index fingers are pointing forwards. Feel the lower belly, Uddiyana Bandha. One more breath. Inhale. Lift your knees and your hips. Find your first downward facing dog as you exhale. Okay, so if you're new to your down dog, make sure your hands are spreading nice and wide. Really feel the palms pressing into the ground like little sucker pads. Index fingers pointing forwards. And if in doubt, turn the index fingers even further out rather than more in, because we don't want to drop the shoulders in. You want to feel an external rotation of the shoulders, which extends that serratus muscle down and under the armpit. So there's nice bit of space. Your head and your neck should be spacious. So draw the shoulders away from your ears. And if you know you have tight hamstrings, keep a soft bend in your knees. Your down dog doesn't have to have straight legs. Same thing with the stomach. Belly draws in, supporting the lower back. You want to have a little wiggle here. If you want to start to bend the knees alternatively, just feeling into the hamstrings, into calves, waking up the toes, waking up the soles of the feet. Really nice, guys. Keep that breath. Relax your neck, relax your jaw. Then find a little bit of stillness. Then come high onto your tiptoes as you inhale, look forwards. Gently begin to tiptoe your feet behind your wrists. And exhale, fold down. So same with the down dog. If the hamstrings are tight, generously bend your knees in this forward fold. You almost want to feel that your stomach is connecting to your thighs. Make sure your feet are hip distance apart. If they're too narrow, you're going to feel a little bit off balance. Let your arms just hang forward. Let yourself dangle. Let your chin come to your chest. Let your head be completely released. Now, if it feels okay for you, interlace the hands behind your back into a little fist, or hold onto a t-shirt or a strap between your hands if your shoulders are too tight. Take an inhale, just come up halfway so the spine is parallel to the ground, look forward, then exhale, fold down and let the weight of that fist open your shoulders. We'll do that twice more. Inhale, come up halfway, straighten the legs, look forward, pull up the knees and quads, then exhale, bend the knees, release the head and neck and the arms. Once more, just come up halfway, strong belly, strong legs, then exhale, fold. And then we'll hold it here for a couple more breaths. Just finding a bit of space in the lower back, finding a bit of space in the shoulders and in the thighs, the backs of the thighs, the hamstrings. You can sway if that feels good. Okay, from there, releasing any interlace that you've got. Just let your fingers dangle. Press down into your feet. Close your eyes, keeping your chin to your chest so your head is relaxed. Begin to rise up. Slow and controlled, as if you are gently inflating a bouncy castle. I did this analogy the other day in a class, and it really kind of resonates with me. When you see that bouncy castle begin to inflate, there's nothing rushed about it. It starts from the bottom and it begins to rise up into this beautiful standing mountain pose, where we are now at the top of our mats. Now, if it feels okay in your lower back and your hips, you can bring your big toes to touch, heels slightly apart, or keep the feet separate, hip distance, absolutely fine. Take an inhale, shrug your shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, roll them down and back. Twice more, inhale. Open the chest as you exhale. Once more, inhale, exhale, hold it there. So there's a slight kind of opening, the palms face forward as we feel that opening across the chest. Now pull up your knees, pull up your quads. Feel your pelvic floor perineum area lift up. This is called Mula Bandha. This is your root lock. And then I've already spoken Uddiyana, feel your lower belly draw in. This is your upward flying lock. Then Hasta Bandha is your hand and your arm lock. These activated. We're not just floppy here. We're really standing tall. Pada Bandha, the foot and the leg lock. Okay, we're going to begin to flow now. Take an inhale and an exhale. Blinking the eyes open if they're still closed. Sweep the arms to the sky. Inhale. Soften the knees as you fold all the way forwards. Exhale. Take a halfway lift. Inhale. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Look forward. Exhale. Soften the knees. Hands flat. Step the right foot back and lower the right knee down. Reach your arms to the sky. Find your low lunge as you inhale. Hold it there as you exhale. So start to feel the right hip draw forwards, left hip draw back. So you get that stretch into the front of the right thigh. Glutes are active, lower belly in. Take an inhale. Release your hands to the top of the mat. Exhale. Step back to a downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. We take our first vinyasa. Inhale, ripple forward to a high plank. Shoulders and hips in one line. Hold it there as you exhale. Now take an inhale. Really lift the space between your shoulder blades. Drop your knees and lower down. Elbows point back, not out to the sides as you exhale. Untuck your toes. Squeeze your glutes. Hug your elbows in. Draw your shoulders down and back as you lift your chest. This is your baby cobra inhale. Press into your hands, bottom to your heels. Child's pose. Exhale. Take a breath. Inhale. Exhale. Come forward to a tabletop as you inhale. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Exhale. Now lift the right leg into the sky as you inhale. Hold it there as you exhale. This time, squeeze your elbows towards each other. Cactus the arms, shoulder blade. Exhale. Inhale, reach the arms up. Release the hands to the top. Exhale. Step the left foot to meet the right foot. Halfway lift as you inhale. Forward fold. Exhale. Rise to stand. Inhale. Release your arms by your sides. Exhale. Let's do it on the left. Reach the arms up. Inhale. Fold all the way down. Exhale. Take your halfway lift. Straighten the legs. Look forward. Inhale. Soften the knees. Palms flat. Step the left leg back. Lower the left knee. Exhale. Arms reach. Inhale. Hold it there as you exhale. So again, squeeze on that right glute. Draw the left hip forward and feel the opening of the front of that left thigh. Take one more breath in your low lunge. Inhale. Release your hands to the mat. Exhale. Step to a down dog. Inhale. Exhale. So we're going to take another vinyasa. Inhale, high plank. This time, you can either drop the knees, which makes it easier, or you can lower all the way down in one line as you exhale. Don't rush. Inhale is your up dog. So Jules is doing an up dog here. The arms are straight, the glutes are on, and the belly and thighs are not touching the ground. Otherwise, the cobra, the elbows are bent. Downward facing dog. Take a breath. Inhale. Exhale. So it's the vinyasa that gets you stronger, but that's also the thing that gets you exhausted. So at any time you want to just skip it and go to a down dog, you're welcome to. Or you can choose to drop the knees or not drop the knees. Lift the left leg to the sky. Inhale. Hold it there as you exhale. Come high onto the tiptoes of the right foot. Inhale, look forward. Step the left foot to the top. Lower the right knee. Reach the arms to the sky. Inhale. Cactus the elbows, lift the heart space. Exhale. Inhale, reach the arms up. Hands to the top. Exhale. Step the right foot forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Rise to stand. Inhale. Release your arms down by your sides. Exhale. Take a breath. Inhale. Exhale. So now we move on. This is called a sun salutation A. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Inhale. Soften the knees, forward fold. Exhale. Take your halfway lift. Inhale, legs straighten, open the chest. Exhale, soften the knees, hands flat. Step back to your high plank. Now take an inhale. You can choose to lower down for your vinyasa as you exhale, or skip it and go to your down dog. You choose. Otherwise, if you took the vinyasa, you find your up dog or your baby cobras, and we all meet downward facing dog. Bones. 2 more breaths. Broaden your shoulders. Spread your fingers. Press your palms. Last breath. On your next exhale, soften your knees. Look forwards. Now you can either take a little hop to the top of your mat with both feet, or you can simply step to the top. Take a halfway lift. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Open the chest. Inhale. Fold forward. Exhale. Rise to stand. Sweep the arms to the sky. Inhale. Release the arms down by the sides as you exhale. Now bring your feet together. This is your sun salutation B. Bend your knees. Sweep your arms up and find your chair pose. Utkatasana. We also call this one fierce pose. So really feel strong and fierce in this pose. Draw your sit bones down, pull your lower belly in. And when you gaze down, you should be able to see your toes just poking beyond your knees. Relax your shoulders. Keep looking up to your fingers. Draw the sit bones back. Hug the belly. Last breath. Inhale. Fold forward. Exhale. Take your halfway lift. Inhale. Soften the knees. Place the hands flat. Step back to your high plank. Downward facing dog. Then everybody from there, lift the right leg to the sky. Inhale. This time we're going to bend our right knee and lift the knee to the sky as we open the right hip. Now squeeze that right heel towards your bottom. Find a bit of space into that right hip. Keep pressing away, especially with your right hand. Take one more breath. Inhale. Then land the right foot between the hands. Exhale. You can help it with your right hand if you need. Now this time we rise to a high lunge. If you feel like you're a little bit wobbly here, shuffle your right foot to the edge of your mat slightly, because you want this left hip to be pointing forwards. You don't want it to open out. Really push out through your left heel so you feel that lovely stretch through the front of your left thigh. Draw your belly in. Right knee over right ankle. Take one more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Release your hands. And again, you choose. You step to a high plank if you want to take that vinyasa, or you skip it and go to your down dog. Inhaling. Back bend if you took the vinyasa. Everybody meets. Downward facing dog. Take a breath. Inhale. Exhale. Now let's lift our left leg to the sky. Inhale. Bend the knee, open up the hip, exhale. So again, what tends to happen here is we bend the elbows or we start to peel the left shoulder up. Press into that left hand, keep the arms straight. Lift the left knee to the sky, squeeze the heel to the bottom. Take one more inhale. Step that left foot to the top of the mat. Exhale. Find your high lunge as you inhale. Hold it there and consolidate as you exhale. So again, if you feel a little bit wobbly, shuffle the left foot to the edge of the mat slightly so that you can keep the space for the right hip to come forward. The back leg is active and straight. The heel is lifted. The left knee is over left ankle. Arms are to the sky. Gaze is straight forward. One more breath. Inhale. Release your hands to the mat. Either step back to a high plank for your vinyasa, or you can skip it and go to your down dog. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale. And let's take 3 breaths in our down dog. Breathing there for 1. Exhale. Relax the neck and jaw for 2. Exhale. Draw the lower belly in for 3. Exhale. Inhale. Lift your heels. Look forwards. Step or take that little jump to the top of your mat. Find your halfway lift as you inhale. Lengthen. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Open your heart. Exhale, fold. Bring your feet together. Bend your knees. We rise back up to our chair pose. Utkatasana, fierce pose. Soften your shoulders. See if you can feel the sit bones drawing back as if you're trying to find that seat behind you. Now see if you can bring the weight into the heels and the balls of the feet so that you can lift up all 10 toes. Again, relax your shoulders. 2 more breaths. Feel the backs of the legs strengthening here. 1 more breath. Inhale. Release the toes. Bring the hands to the heart center as you exhale. Now this time, bend down a little bit lower. Hug your belly in. Lengthen your lower back. And can you lift your heels? So you're really, really balancing out on your tippy toes. Squeezing your glutes. Strengthening your ankles, soften your shoulders. Activate those insteps of the feet. Last breath. Whoa. Inhale. Release the heels. Exhale. Reach the arms back up to the sky. Inhale. Then from here, we're going to take a twist as we exhale. So the right hand comes to the sacrum and the left hand just comes to the outside of your right thigh. Now make sure your hips don't start to twist to the left. Keep them pointing back. Hug your belly in. Those of you that can go deeper, hook your left elbow outside of your right thigh and bring your hands into prayer. My belly's in the way for that, but if you can go deeper into that twist, go there. Hug the belly in and rotate the ribs. You're looking over your right shoulder. Soften the right shoulder away from the jaw. Take one more breath. Inhale. Now stay with the twist, but just take your gaze to your right foot. Now shift the weight into your right foot. Squeeze your knees together and squeeze your left heel to your bottom. So you're balancing on one foot here, but both knees are bent and you're still in your twist. Now slowly begin to extend the left toes to the back of your mat. Keep the right knee bent. Release the left toes. From there, lift your chest. Inhale. Open your arms, but we're still in a twist as we exhale. So right fingertips are reaching back. Left ones are reaching forward. Push out through your left heel and bend your right knee. Soften your shoulders. Take now your right hand and slide it down the back of your left thigh. And then reach your left arm up and over. So almost like your gaze is just looking over your right shoulder. Don't lose the bend in that right knee. Twisted lunge variation. Last breath. Inhale. Exhale. Now reach both arms back to the sky as you inhale. This time, ground your left foot, release your left arm down your left leg and reach your right arm up and over. Reverse warrior. Hold it here. Soften into that right knee. Don't lose the lunge in your right knee and soften your right shoulder. 2 more breaths. Relax your neck. Soften your shoulders. Keep that left leg straight. Squeeze your glutes. Last breath. Inhale. Exhale. Then windmill your hands all the way down to the mat. So you're framing your right foot and lift your left heel. Now from here, take an inhale. See if you can start to straighten your right leg. Use blocks under your hands if you can't reach the ground. If you need to, you can step that back foot in a little bit closer. Really lift that back heel. So 2 straight legs. This is our pyramid pose. Finding that stretch all the way through the back of the right leg into the hamstring for 2 more breaths. Pull up your knees and quads, squeeze your glutes. 1 more breath. Inhale, exhale. Now from here, bend back into your right knee. Shift the weight into your right foot and lift your left leg. Standing splits. So here I recommend again, if you've got blocks, bring hands onto blocks or books. If not, and you can't reach the ground, just bend your knee slightly. Those of you that are comfortable here, maybe you can fold even deeper, lifting that left leg even higher. Perhaps bringing the right hand to the right ankle and using that as a way to draw your forehead towards your shin. 2 more breaths. Wherever you are, find your balance. Doesn't matter how it looks, just find that hamstring. Last breath, inhale, exhale. Slowly bend back into your right knee. Step the left toes to the back of the mat. Take a moment here. Now press down into your left hand. Palm is flat, really important. Reach your right arm into the sky. We're in an open twist. Hold it there. Shuffle your right foot to the edge of the mat a little bit more if you need a bit more space for your hips. 2 more breaths. Hold it here. 1 more inhale. Then lower the left. As you release your right hand just towards the back of your left thigh. Now, if it's available to you, bend up that left leg. Maybe you find the outside edge of the left foot with the right hand. If it's nowhere near, you can either try with a t-shirt or a strap, or if you have a book handy or a block, elevate your left hand to make you closer to that bind. Last breath here. We're getting a lovely stretch into that quad. You can squeeze the heel in if there's more space. And then gently release. Bring both hands back to the mat. Tuck the left toe, lift the left knee. You can either step to a high plank if you want to take that vinyasa, or you skip it and we meet in a down dog. Either way, if you're taking a vinyasa, we all meet in down dog anyway. Inhaling for the up dog, your back bend. Everybody meets down dog. Take a breath in through the nose. Let's wipe the slate clear, let it out the mouth. Lovely, guys. Let's drop down onto the knees for a moment. So we're going to come into Anahatasana. So keeping your hips above your knees, so you're in this tabletop position once again, but begin to reach your arms forward to melt the heart to the ground, coming onto your forehead. Now make sure you don't bend your elbows. If you feel like you need to bend your elbows to stop any compression happening in your shoulders, take your hands wider and then see if you can have the arms straight. Those of you that want to get a bit of a deeper stretch into the shoulders, you'd bring the hands closer together but keeping the arms straight. So this is an opener for our chest and shoulders. And don't worry if your chest is nowhere near the ground. Just keep working that opening. Breathe into it. 2 more breaths. Inhaling. Exhaling. 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Now I seem to remember that maybe we have someone pregnant practicing with us. So if we do, you'd come back to a tabletop position. Those of you that aren't pregnant, you can continue like Jules. You're going to melt the body forward, coming onto your belly, coming into a Sphinx pose. So your forearms are down and your elbows are underneath your shoulders. Yeah. And you want to feel your forearms dragging back as your heart reaches forward. And if you're in your tabletop variation, you're just doing your cow pose, opening your chest here. Those of you that are comfortable where you are, you could play with straightening your arms here, coming into a much deeper back bend, but not if that feels like any discomfort in the lower back. Make sure you keep squeezing your glutes on to protect the lower back and hugging your belly in. Last breath here. Don't let those shoulders creep up to the ears. Press down and lift up. And then take an inhale. Then bend the elbows, melt the chest to the earth. Exhale. Tuck the toes. Inhale. Push the butt to the heels. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Everybody meets. Breathing in. And breathing out. Bend your knees. Look forward. Step or take that little hop to the top of your mat. Find your halfway lift as you inhale, forward fold, exhale. Once again, find your Utkatasana, fierce pose. Bend your knees, sweep your arms up. Now hold it there. Soften your shoulders, hug your belly in. Make this your deepest one yet. Really draw those sit bones back. Keep breathing. Last breath. Take a deep inhale. Right hand outside left thigh, left hand to the lower back. Exhale, twisted chair. So again, don't let your hips suddenly swing over to the right side. Keep the hips anchored so that the twist comes from the torso. It's the movement relationship between the hips and the shoulders. Those of you that took it deeper on the other side, hook the right elbow outside of the left thigh. Bring your hands into prayer. Press into your palms and see if you can lift your sternum onto your thumbs. Soften the left shoulder. Look over the left shoulder. Lift the gaze. And again, check those hips haven't swung to the right. Really nice. Pull the lower belly in. Take a final breath. Inhale. Stay with the twist, but just look down to your left foot as you exhale. Now squeeze your knees together. Shift the weight into your left foot and see if you can squeeze your right heel to your bottom. You're in a little flamingo chair. Hold it there. Keeping the left knee bent, keeping the twist. Slowly start to extend the right leg behind you. Find the tiptoes of the right foot on the mat. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, open up the arms. Right arm forward, left arm back. Hold it there. So again, if you're a little bit wobbly, shuffle that left foot out a little bit wider to give you space. See how it feels to turn your palms up to the sky. Relax your shoulders. Push out through that right heel and don't lose the bend in the left knee. Now bring your left hand to the back of your right thigh. Reach your right arm up, inhale, and then reach it back and over as you exhale. Now what tends to happen here is this left knee knocks in. Can you squeeze your left glute to stop that left knee collapsing? Really nice. We're in that twisted lunge variation. One more breath. Inhale, exhale. Now bring both arms back up. Inhale, ground your right foot, release your right arm down your right leg and reach your left arm up and over. Reverse warrior as you exhale. So again, use your left glute to keep that left knee active. Deep lunge in the left knee, strong and straight in the right leg. Reaching that left arm up and over. Finding space through the left intercostal muscles. Final breath. Inhale. Windmill your hands to frame your left foot and lift your right heel as you exhale. So again here, you get your blocks, you get your books. We're going to straighten that left leg as much as we can coming into our pyramid pose. If you don't have any props and you can't straighten that left leg, that's absolutely fine. Just as much as you can. And what will really help you is coming super high onto the tiptoes of that back foot, because that will lift your hips up, which will give you more space for your legs to straighten. Feel your right hip draw forward as your left hip draws back. Squeeze your inner thighs. We're stretching the left hamstring. 2 more breaths. 1 more inhale. Exhale. Now bend into your left knee. Shift the weight into your left foot. Lift your right leg to the sky. Standing splits. So again, options here. Hands, 1 on each block or book. If you don't need your blocks, you can just reach the fingertips to the ground. If you don't have blocks and you can't reach the ground, just bend that left leg a little bit. But lift that right leg as high as it can go and keep it as straight. Pada bandha. If you can take a bind, you can bring the left hand to the left ankle and use that to pull your forehead towards your shin. Last breath, inhale. Fingertips to the ground, soften the left knee, step the right leg back, exhale. Now press down into your right palm, flatten that right palm, and reach your left arm into the sky. Easy twist. If you need to shuffle that left foot to the edge of your mat a little bit more to give you a bit more space, shuffle it out. Make sure that right hand is nice and flat. And again, you can place it on a block or a book. To the back of the right thigh as you exhale. Then from there, can you squeeze your right heel to your bottom? And if you can reach it, you hold the outside, not the inside of the foot. And if you're on your fingertips on the right hand now, use a block, use a book. Really nice. Then you can either sink the hips forward, squeezing the heel to the butt, or you can kick the foot away and open the chest. And again, be mindful that this ankle hasn't gone behind the knee. Step that left foot further forward so you've got the movement to be able to sink the hips forward. Remember, you can use a t-shirt, wrap it around your foot and hold on to that if you can't reach. Otherwise, just don't worry. Just keep squeezing. And eventually, we might be able to find that strength in our hamstring to get that foot a little bit closer to our butt. Last breath. Release the bind. Tuck the right toe, lift the right knee, press into both hands. Either step to your high plank if you want to take that vinyasa, or just step back to a down dog and take a breath. If you took the vinyasa, we inhale for our up dog and we exhale down dog. Really nice, guys. Take a breath. Inhale. Drop down onto your knees. Sit your bottom to your heels. Let's take a child's pose this time. Exhale. Maybe send your hands back to your feet to relax your shoulders. Really nice. Just breathe it here. Let your body calm. As I said, it's a hot day and we've been doing those twists, and twists build fire and heat in the belly. So you might be feeling quite about cooked right now. 2 more breaths. Just let it settle. Once more, breathe in and out. Okay, we're just going to come into one more kind of strengthening pose. We did the flexibility, which was the Anahatasana, the opening of the shoulders, reaching the arms forward. Now we're going to do the strength, which is our dolphin. So reach the arms out in front of you. Bring your forearms to the mat. Make sure your elbows are just a tiny bit narrower than your shoulders. To start with, I would recommend bringing the tips of the thumbs to touch, spread the fingertips wide, and you'll soon realize whether that's too restrictive for your shoulders. Some people prefer to interlace the fingers. I now like to bring my palms into prayer, but that is quite tricky to balance. Some people like to hold a block, or if you haven't got a block, a book between their hands, and that helps to stabilize the shoulders. So from here, feel that cat, you know, that angry cat. Press down into your forearms and dome your shoulders. Really feel your bouncy castle of your shoulders inflating. Then tuck your toes and lift your knees. This is your dolphin. It's very strong. See how close you can tiptoe those feet towards your elbows, but do not let your head drop to the earth. Do not let your shoulders collapse. Keep lifting your shoulders towards the sky. Really nice. We're going to hold it here for 3 more breaths. How high can you lift your bottom? How close can you step those feet in? Don't let the head touch the ground. Last full inhale. Child's pose. Release the bottom to the heels. Relax the hands back to the feet. Really nice, guys. Take a breath. Inhale. Okay, from there, reach the arms forward. Either do a tabletop and go to a down dog, or do a high plank if you want to practice your vinyasa, lowering down. Inhaling. Everybody meets downward facing dog. Exhale. From your downward facing dog, bend your knees, step or take a little hop to the top of your mat. Halfway lift as you inhale. Forward fold. Exhale. Now once again, bend your knees, sweep your arms up, find your chair pose. Now bring your hands to the heart center. So we're going to come into another variation of a balancing twist, but this time with a little opening into the glute and hip. So shift your weight into your left foot and draw your right knee in towards you. Then place your right ankle on top of your left thigh and flex your right foot. So you're creating that number 4. Now keep your left knee bent as well as your right knee. Try to sink your bottom down. You should be feeling a lovely opening into that right glute piriformis. Soften the shoulders. If you're super wobbly here, you can always bring your hands towards blocks or books on the mat. But otherwise, try to keep your bottom lower than your head. Make sure as well that you're not on the foot. Your foot is hanging off the edge, so you're not compressing that ankle joint. Now the tricky bit. If you're finding it hard enough, just stay here. Otherwise, like we did in the chair, bring the left hand onto your lower back, bring the right hand to the instep of your right foot. Hold it here. Perhaps you can start to look to the left, but don't let your hips wobble. Hug your belly in. And again, those of you that love that twist, if you can hook your right elbow to the inside of your right foot, you can once again bring the hands to prayer, but that's pretty advanced. So stay with the one that you can breathe in. Remember, the breath comes first. Last breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Now rise up to stand. Hug the right knee into your chest. Give it a little squeeze. Inhale. Release the right foot down. Exhale. Have a little pedal out. Let it go. Okay, bend your knees. Let's come back to that fierce chair pose. Hands to the heart center. So focus your dristi. This is a meditation when it comes to balancing. Focus on a spot in the room and keep that in your eye. Left knee comes into the chest, left ankle on top of that right thigh. Don't let this left knee high up towards you. Move it away as much as you can and really flex that left foot to protect the knee. Soften your shoulders. Imagine you're doing an up dog. Lift your chest. Really nice, guys. This is really good strengthening for the right ankle as well. Now you stay here if this is enough, or you can take that twist. Right hand to the lower back, left hand to the left foot. Don't let your hips move, just hug the belly in and try to rotate your chest to the right. Those of you that want to go deeper, slow and steady wins the race. Don't rush into the pose. If you feel good, stay there and breathe. If you want to take that left elbow to the left foot, you can bring your hands into prayer. Hug the belly in. Keep bending that right knee. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Rise to stand. Hug the left knee in. Inhale. Squeeze. Exhale. Release. Have a little wiggle out. Really nice, guys. Reach the arms to the sky. Stand tall. Inhale. Fold all the way down. Exhale. Take your halfway lift. Inhale. Step, or you can take a little hop to the back, either straight to down dog or go through your vinyasas. Inhale. Up dog. We all meet. Downward facing dog. Exhale. So from your downward facing dog, bend your knees and you're going to come through to seated. Often helps just to really back flesh out from your sitting bones so you get that little tilt of the pelvis from the get-go. Pull up your knees, pull up your quads, reach your arms to the sky, inhale, fold forward as you exhale. Now, if you can't reach your feet, you can use a t-shirt or a strap. If you don't have anything to hand, you can either bend your knees slightly or you can bring your hands either side of your calves and feel your hands draw back as your chest reaches forward. And you've got to use Uddiyana Bandha. You've got to use a bit of core stability to aid that forward fold. So we're not just yanking. If we were to let go, ideally we don't want to completely ping up. We want to feel like there's a bit of muscularity involved. Let's take 3 more breaths. Inhale for 2. Exhale. Inhale for 1. Exhale. Slowly start to come on up. You can stay on your blocks. Bring your hands behind you, about a hand's distance from your bottom. Fingertips point forwards. Now from here, bend up the legs. So the soles of the feet are kind of going to be under the knees. Feet hip distance apart. Press into the hands. Inhale. Press into the feet. Lift the hips. Hold it there. Now make sure your toes don't start to turn out. So bring your feet hip distance apart, toes point forwards. Press down into your hands, and as if you were doing that angry cat, but this time your chest is lifting up. Now don't let your butt be lower than your knees. Dig your heels into the mat to light up the glutes and hamstrings and lift that bottom high. Really nice. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Once more. Inhale. Slowly lower the bottom to the ground. Exhale. Now move your block out of the way if it's in the way of your bottom and lift up to Navasana, your boat pose. So first of all, we hold behind the thighs because we want to hug those thighs as close towards the body as possible. Puff up your chest and roll your shoulder blades down your back. Now if you can keep your legs there, reach your arms forward. Try to keep your ankles in line with your knees so your shins are parallel to the mat. If you can keep your thighs there, you're welcome to straighten your legs, but don't straighten your legs if your thighs are going to drop to the ground. Keep those hip flexors super, super strong, that core active. 1 more breath. Inhale. Cross your ankles. Bring your hands forward and step or take a little hop back. Either straight to down dog or again, you've got your vinyasas. Inhaling. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Really nice, guys. Lift the right leg to the sky. Inhale. Bend your knee and let's allow that hip to open again. So this time, I want you to look underneath your left armpit until you can see your right foot. If you can't see it, just stay there. If you can see it, start to release a bit of weight out of the right hand so you come onto the fingertips and start to step that right foot behind you and then push the hips up and reach the right arm up and over. This is called wild thing. So you want to be on the tiptoes of the right foot with the leg bent and the left leg is straight and the left hand is pressing down. The arm is strong. You're using your glutes like you did in that little reverse tabletop. And then slowly bring the right hand back. Lift that right leg into the sky for your 3-legged dog. And then we're going to come through for a pigeon pose. So bring your knee behind your right wrist. Now, if you know you're tight in your hips and there's anything going on with your knees here, make sure you've got a block underneath your right butt cheek or some cushions. Then take an inhale, lift your chest, then exhale, fold forward. You might just come down to hands, forearms. You might be able to go all the way down. Keep extending that left leg out behind you. If there's any pain in your knees, you can roll onto your back and do this into a lying, reclining pigeon and just hug your shin towards you. Or another option is letting that back leg bend, and that takes out as much of that compression. But first of all, check that your right knee is a little bit wider than your right hip. You don't want to be coming narrower because that will go into an internal compression rather than that external. As well, you can flex your right foot. That will help you to protect the knee if it's feeling tender. But first and foremost, just try to let go. It's a forward fold. It's a deep opener into that right hip. You want to feel your right hip draw back as your left hip draws forward. So the hips are level. The sacrum is flush. That's why we use the blocks or the cushions under the butt cheek to lift up that right hip slightly. Okay, begin to walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Now tuck your left toes under, press into your hands, press into your left foot, and then shift that right leg back to a downward facing dog, or give it a little wiggle, have a little shimmy. Do what you need to do, and we're going to come on to the other side. Left leg to the sky, inhale. Bend the left knee, open the hip, lift the knee to the sky. So you could stay here, looking under your right armpit. Can you see that foot? If you can, or if you feel okay, begin to step it over. Press up with the hips, use the glutes. The right arm is strong and straight. Left arm is reaching back, relax the neck. Come onto the ball of that left foot so you can really feel the lift of the hips, and the right foot is strong and grounded. Last breath, inhale. Press away with the right hand as you slowly release the left hand back to the mat. Re-extend the left leg, three-legged dog. Now bring the left knee behind the left wrist. Take a moment, feel if that feels all right. Get a block or a cushion underneath that left butt cheek. Make sure your left knee is slightly wider than that left hip. Take an inhale, really lengthen the back leg, and then exhale, fold forward. Really nice. Let it go. Calming the breath. Again, we're looking for this balance between the hips. So we don't want to be collapsing to one side more than the other. So use your props, use your cushions, roll up something that will assist you in finding that balance. Make sure your back toe, your right foot is relaxed, your leg is extending back. Soften the belly. Allow this fold to work its way through your body. So we can close our eyes. Pratyahara means withdrawing from our senses. And these are all stages of the yoga practice that we go through that end in us reaching this concentration and meditation, when we can really find that relaxation in our Shavasana. So all of the movements, all of the physical movement that you do in your asana, your physical yoga poses, is to get to a place where you can sit or relax and meditate in stillness. That's why we do it. It's kind of to get rid of that extra energy that stops us from being able to sit, from being able to let go. Begin to walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Tuck your right toes under, press down and lift that left leg. Give it a little wiggle, give it a shimmy, and then find your way to come through. Bottom, your fingers, your toes, your face. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Inhale, exhale, Shavasana. Now in your Shavasana, your legs are wide, your arms, palms face up. Now just tense your bottom, squeeze your hands into a fist, tense your toes, your face, tense everything up. But in this Shavasana shape, inhale, exhale, release. Once more, inhale, squeeze, 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 tense, tense, tense. Exhale. Now take a deep inhale through the nose. In. Flubber the lips. Inhale. Relax the jaw, relax the face. If you need to put some cushions or blocks under your thighs, if it feels like there's any pinching in the lower back and you would benefit from having some little softness in your knees, do so. Soften your chin so the back of the neck is nice and long and we're not craning. And just let go. Let go of your breath. Let go of your belly. Let go of your jaw. The tongue in the mouth. Just let it all go. And we're going to be here just for 2 minutes. That's a very, very short time, but know that I will guide you out. So just be still, no movements, eyes closed, and just let go. Let your body heal. Okay, guys, keep the eyes closed. Begin to deepen your breath, slowly, steadily, bringing physical awareness back to the fingers, the toes. Maybe you swallow, maybe you lick your lips, maybe your head sways from side to side. If it feels nice, take a full body stretch. Arms up, legs together, as if you've just woken up in the morning. Maybe there's even a luxurious yawn. And gently bring the knees into the belly. Rolling to the side, gently push yourself to a comfortable seated position. Again, elevate your sit bones, cushions, blocks, or books. Sit up nice and tall. Let's bring the hands to press together back to the heart space. Take a moment, think to how you felt before your practice. See if you've managed to find a bit more space, physically, energetically, letting go of things that we know that don't serve us positively and holding on and making space for the things that do. Remind yourself of your intention, anyone that you offered your practice to today. And thank you as always for trusting me to guide you through. Bring your thumb knuckles towards your third eye space, the space between your eyebrows. Keep practicing and all is coming. Jai Namaste. Thank you very, very much, guys. Well